Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. On the Bitcoin chart, we have seen the, let's say, anticipated recovery. Yesterday in my last video, we hadn't seen a recovery yet. We discussed that we'd seen 5 waves to the downside of the recent December high. And we called that a wave 1 in a larger C wave that would be expected to complete the overall wave 4 correction, which started here around the 8th of December. The idea was that we completed an A wave here, a B wave at the top here just a few days ago, and around the 22nd it was of December, and that this here could be the C wave to the downside. The evidence isn't very clear yet, so it hasn't, fully confirmed to us that the C wave is rolling, but I'm leaning towards the idea. After the 5 waves down completed, I shared with you a resistance area that ideally the price is going to respect going forward, because only when these parameters continue to be respected, the current roadmap here is likely going to be followed. What does that mean? So that means that at the moment I see this move up as wave 2, and there are certain resistance levels that should be respected by the price, especially here the area between 43,033 and 43,837 USD. So should we get a sustained break above that level, it increases probabilities that something different is going on. Remember that in corrections we have to basically expect changes in wave counts. They are not to be seen as too predictive. They just give us the parameters, and all we're doing here is to track the structures to get to a situation in which we can say, okay, the correction is probably over or nearly over. At the moment, it's not the case. At the moment, I'd like to still see the C wave to the downside unfold, ideally into the support area that starts at $39,260. And based on the wave structure here, it looks like that only the wave 1 is complete. And this here would be an expected wave 2 correction. So this could be, okay, A, B, C in wave 2, maybe complete with somewhere from here a rejection and then a start of a third wave breakdown. This is where the fun starts. Another possibility would be that what we've seen here so far is only the A wave of the wave 2. We'll get a B wave and then another C wave that goes a little higher into resistance. There are different possibilities here, obviously. We can discuss about all of these, but that's a bit pointless. What really counts is to understand where is the resistance and do we see any reaction to that resistance range. What the resistance range is, I already explained. There is a break above resistance, so a break above 43,837 will likely lead to, well, it will lead to invalidation of the assumption that the C wave down has started. And that level would be here. That's at 44,410, $420. That's the invalidation point. It's the Friday high, the 22nd of December. So while a break above resistance would put us somewhere in no man's land because the wave 2 would get a little bit less likely, it is not the invalidation point. It's just too high for reliable wave 2. It means we have to be on our toes, have to expect maybe a change in wave structure. And above the invalidation point, something different would be going on. Probably just an extension of the B wave. So that's sort of what I'm expecting primarily. I'm watching for a reaction here. If no reaction shows, it's likely an extension of the B wave, which will then give us another very messy extension and messy structure. See, you have a price channel here as well, in which the price could be moving a little bit. So I'm just highlighting that. There are a few interesting patterns that we can identify here. So the B wave could, of course, still extend a bit higher. Okay, so there would then be, let's say we break above the invalidation point, I would first be watching for this trend line as possible resistance. What else is important? So it is possible that the entire B wave itself unfolds as a triangle. That's also possible, but also then, ideally we don't break above this 22nd of December high. How could that work out with a triangle? Well, it's quite simple. This here would still be the A wave, the low that was formed on the 11th of December. Then a triangle is an ABCDE structure. This here would have to be the A wave. The B wave could be unfolding still. A, B, C in wave B. So that would take us, that would keep us forever in this range, okay? So I just want to highlight that. Even if we see a reaction from here to the downside, it doesn't mean it is wave C. I just want to show you this pattern, a triangle pattern, an Elliott Wave triangle pattern, to make sure that you understand that even if we see a reaction to resistance, and even if we carry on to the downside, it could still be a triangle until we break below $40,229, which is the low that was made on the 11th of December. So just want to make sure that you understand the need to remain flexible. There's no way of predicting it's a triangle. There's no way of predicting, okay, we're now coming down the third wave. That's not the point. It's just noise. The noise isn't important in corrections. What's really important is, okay, when is the C wave finished? So once we have a pattern that's nearly full, we can explore the idea that the C wave is getting close to completion. What are the support levels? And does a reaction to the upside show before breaking below significant support, which is here at $34,070? So that's really important. Not so much, okay, you know, is this now the wave 2 of wave C, of wave 4, or whatever, you know, that's not so important. We use this, however, we use the wave structures to track the potentials and, yeah, have to just dynamically assess, especially in a correction. A lot of people don't understand the difference, right? Correction impulses. In corrections, everything's noise. The bigger picture matters. Okay, this ABC correction matters. How the B wave unfolds, how the C wave unfolds, not so important. In impulses, we have to track the micro, yep, and we have very clear parameters. In corrections, we have to be a little bit more flexible. So that really counts, you know, to understand where is the support. And also what I want to show you is there's also a trend line here, I think, that is forming, or that creates another pattern. So I would pay attention to this trend line here as well. This is within the resistance area, and the price might use it also as a rejection point. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.